Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are returning and if this is the first video of mine that you're catching, welcome. My name is Rachel and I'm a reseller on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And today I'm going to share with you my top 15 highest sales for March of 2025. So if you want to see what's been selling for me at the highest rates, hopefully it helps you in your reseller business make sourcing decisions or just things to look out for in the wild. So stick around. I'll show you what's been selling for me. So I'm officially a mother of two. My second daughter was born on March 3rd of 2025. And this is actually my first time filming since the birth of my daughter. And I'm really excited to get back in the swing of things. It's been such a fun journey so far, but I've missed you guys. I've missed filming. You will see a few more videos that I filmed before I was pregnant because I did kind of front load my content, not knowing how long I would go before I was able to film again. But I love sharing these videos as early in the month or the next month as I possibly can. So you'll see this one, you'll see a few more where I'm pregnant, and then I will start making new content again later on this month. If you watch all of my videos, you may notice that, and that's why. I am excited to resume my my work, my business. You know, I'm gonna try to do at least 2 videos a week still. Hopefully I can someday get back up to 3. Having 2 small kids, my oldest turns 2 this month, so it's been kind of a journey, and I don't know that I'm going to have the same capacity to do work the way that I did before. So anyway, we'll see. And if you like reseller content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Either way, I'm shooting for at least 2 videos a week. I've got unboxings coming up. I've got a ton of 90-day updates that I'm going to work on catching up on for the month of May. And I would love to see you in a future video. Hit that like button if you could. That definitely helps out the channel. And let me know your best sale of March 2025 down below in the comments. I would love to hear what's selling for you. We can share with each other, you know, what the good brands are, what the good sales are, so that hopefully we can learn from each other. So my goal for March, even though I use the word goal kind of loosely because with a newborn, there was really no strategy involved there. But what I wanted was to beat my sales numbers from February, even though my stores were fully shut down for, I think, 10 days, which that's a hefty expectation. So it's like, that would be really cool if it happened. But my store was shut down for 10 days while I was in the hospital. And then, you know, as I got home and sort of adjusting to things. And then after 10 days, I opened back up for business, like shipping only, selling and shipping only. It took me a few weeks before I was like listing again. So I wanted to beat my February sales number. I didn't get that far. I only missed it though by about $200, which for me is not much. One more day and I probably would have hit that. So I came pretty close. To me, that's a sign that sales are picking up. I definitely had more sales on eBay again. Up until a few months ago, Poshmark was always my better sales volume wise. I did better on Poshmark of the 2. And eBay has definitely surpassed that. I would say within the past 6 months, consistently, eBay's been doing better. And that was no different in the month of March. So that still remains interesting. With that being said, I've had, I don't want to say it's like an influx, but because I'm making more sales on eBay, I'm also getting more returns, which is a little frustrating. But, you know, eBay is the only platform that I accept returns on, or that you can do returns on, of the 3 that I sell on: eBay, Poshmark, Mercari. So it's only at like 5% of my total sales volume, but still, it's like, I feel like every day I'm getting an email about a return. So it just comes along with the business, but it's not something I'm used to, I guess. Even Christmas time, I didn't have this many returns. So that's a little bit weird. You'll have to let me know in the comments what your experience has been with eBay and with returns lately if you sell on eBay. But without further ado, I am going to give you the top 15 highest sales of March 2025. I will talk about what it is, where it's sold, how long I had it for, where I got it, and of course how much it sold for, from the lowest to the highest one being the highest sale of the month. So let me go ahead and get right into it. Number 15 was this caped sheath dress. I got this in like a one-off Helpsy box that I ordered from their Instagram stories. It was just a mixed brand box. This was the brand Betsy and Adam, which I had never heard of before. It was a size 10. My cost per piece on that box was $18.44. It was so high because about half of the box I was not able to list. So that was kind of a bummer, and it drove up my cost per piece on the stuff I was able to list. However, this one was listed about 3 months, just over 3 months, and it sold on eBay for $50.57. It actually sold on eBay once before. I think it was February, and it got returned. There we go with the returns. And it sold again on March 17th. So I would say if you ever see this brand, especially new with tag, I don't suggest paying $18 per piece for it, you know, but if you find it, this to me was not a particularly, I mean, I would never wear a dress in this style. The cape to me was very weird, but it had a lot of interest. So maybe if you see this, definitely check comps, but Betsy and Adam, not sure where it's sold at, maybe Nordstrom or department stores, but new to me brand, sold for $50. Then next was from my Ralph Lauren box, and actually, is this the only one? I think this is the only one on the countdown, but that Ralph Lauren box I bought from Helpsy, that stuff is actually moving. So, but these were really excited. I knew that these were going to sell a little bit higher, you know, when I did that unboxing. So these are vintage wide leg cargo pants from, well, the box was Ralph Lauren brands, so anything that fell under the Ralph Lauren umbrella. These particular ones were Polo Jeans Co. They were a vintage wide leg cargo pant, which is super in style right now. So I'm not surprised that this sold as high as it did. I paid $6.58 per piece on that box, and these were listed only 2 days, and they sold on eBay for $50.99 plus the buyer paid shipping. So they were not listed very long, just a couple of days. Then I had the Dreamy Cotton Blend pajama set. Okay, and I have to say, and I'll say this again when I do the 90-day update on this box, I did a J.Crew Madewell loungewear box. And when I did the original unboxing, I can link it down below if you want to see. I kind of poo-pooed the box at the end. I didn't really like it because there were a lot of like separates that didn't have like the top without the bottom and vice versa. And I was kind of disappointed with the box in general, just because I'm like, well, this is not going to be profitable. But when I started listing this stuff, it like started flying out of my closet. And to the point where I ordered, like every single time this box has come available again, I've ordered more, and it continues to be a great seller for me. I think I've ordered this like 3 more times after the initial box. So just an FYI, J.Crew pajamas are apparently very sought after. This was from actually the third box that I ordered. I paid $6.40 per piece on that box. Every box I ordered was a different cost of goods because Boutique by the Box was doing sales and stuff. Anyway, the next 2 items are from that same box. This one was the Dreamy Cotton Blend pajama set in Night Forest. This was a size 2 extra small, new without tag. You would think would be the hardest thing to get rid of, right? But they actually sold on Poshmark within 2 weeks for $54. I got $54 for this pajama set, you guys, and this is not even the best seller of the box or of this countdown. So there was another from the same exact box, from the third box I ordered. They were the Relaxed Cotton Poplin pajama set in blue stripe. This was a size large, new with tag, also sold for $54 on Poshmark, only listed 2 weeks. So definitely $6.40 into $54. You know, that's just great. So I definitely look forward to buying more of those boxes sometime soon. I constantly watch for the restock on that one. Then there was the Mildred dress called Take It From Your Moms. This was from that Boutique by the Box children's new and returns box. This one was $7.20 per piece cost of goods, which made me really nervous because that's a lot for kids' clothes. But this was a Lily Pulitzer dress in a kid size 6, brand new with tags. And this one took about 5 weeks to sell, which is not bad considering I listed it in the beginning of January, which is not really Lily season. I sold it on March 1st for $55 on Poshmark by offer. This is the only thing that sold by offer this month, in the countdown at least, not overall. But what I do is I have Posher VA, and it as part of the virtual assistant service, I can set it to send 10% off with discounted shipping. Well, you can set it however you want. I set 10% off discounted shipping after the like comes in, 5 minutes after it comes in. So the VA service automatically sends that offer to buyers, and this offer was accepted after I sent it. So $55 with the discounted shipping. The next couple are eBay sales. I had the classic straight jeans in white. These were J. Crew from a Boutique by the Box Madewell J. Crew dresses and denim box. This one I've ordered. I think I'm up to box number 10. This is another one I order every single time it comes in stock. This is my like tried and true bread and butter. Always does well for me. This particular box was $14.45 per piece, and these were listed just under a month, and they sold on eBay for $59.49 plus the buyer paid shipping. This next one is also Ralph Lauren, but this one I actually picked up at Goodwill. It was the long sleeve Georgette boho paisley midi dress. This one was a size 14 petite. It was new without tag. I got a size 12 petite and a 14 petite at Goodwill. I'm guessing they were owned by the same person. They were both new without tag, and they were both, or I guess my average cost per piece that day was $6.69, which is about right. My Goodwill charges $7.24 for any dress, no matter what brand, no matter what condition. This one took 2 months and 1 week, so 9 weeks, but it sold for $59.49 on eBay, and the buyer paid shipping on that one. I still have the 12 petite, but I mean, I think that's awesome. $7.24 into $59. Ralph Lauren is not, I don't do a ton of thrifting lately, but even when I do, or when I did, Ralph Lauren has never really been a brand that I look out for. I guess I just assumed, or maybe just I haven't had good experience selling this stuff in the past, so I never really put a lot of thought into picking this brand up. Anything new with tag, that's a different story, because new with tag in my experience always does a little better. Even if it's a brand that you don't pick up a lot, if it's new with tag, sometimes it's worth picking up. But I'm starting to change my mind about this brand. Maybe a little late to the game to do so, but whatever. I will take the high Ralph Lauren sales, and hopefully I can find some more of it as time goes on. Then there was the Linen Blend Holland Blazer from J. Crew. This one was a size 8 petite, new without tag. This one came from the palette that I bought, the second palette I bought from Boutique by the Box, those J. Crew Madewell ones. This one was listed back in October, which this is a white linen blazer, and I listed it right after summer ended, or beginning of October. So I'm not really surprised that this took until springtime to sell, but it was still a decent sale. It was $9.80 per piece on that palette. I sold this on eBay for $59.99 plus shipping. It did take until March 3rd, but it went for my full asking price, and it was new without tag. It didn't even have the tag on it. So solid sale if you ask me. Then up next was the deep end shirt in linen stripe from the brand AYR. I got an AYR mystery box from Helpsy back in February, and this one was $13.85 per piece. This brand retails pretty high, so that cost of goods is a little steep, but it does tend to resell pretty well, so I'm very interested to see how that one goes. This is the first of 3 on the countdown, and we're already halfway through. So this one actually sold within 3 days of me listing it for $60. And actually, I got several lowball offers on this before I finally settled on a $60 offer. And I think I had it listed for maybe $80, but based on comps, $60 was like a good fair price for the buyer, but still decent price for me, kind of in the middle. So I did go ahead and accept it. Here's another pajama set. This was the Dreamy Cotton Blend pajama set in Night Forest. This one was a size large. This particular color must be more sought after or something. Maybe it was sold out quicker, because I'm doing well with the pajamas, but you can see 2 out of the 3 on this countdown are this exact color, this exact set. So I'm thinking maybe this is more of a rare color, more sought after. But this one was listed about 2 weeks and sold for $60 on Poshmark. So that's solid, $6.40 per piece into 60. That box, not everything sold for that much, so it's going to sort of even out a little bit, but still, like, that's totally amazing to get $60 for a PJ set, if you ask me. Top 5. We have the Beat Drop jeans in Ciao Bella. These were like a pale pink color. They were a size 25, again from the brand AYR. These were $13.85, as I said, per piece. And these took only 11 days to sell, and they sold for $65 on Poshmark. I got 2 of these in the box, the exact same color, exact same size. And these, to me, I assumed, just based on how other things have done for me, I assumed that colored jeans in a small size may not be the fastest seller. So when I saw I had 2 of these, I was like, that, you know, hopefully that's not the case. And actually, these sold pretty quickly after I listed them. $65 is, I think, a decent price too. So I still have the other pair, but I at least moved one of them. It was one of the first things to sell out of the box, so no complaints there. I had the ruched one-piece shaping bathing suit. This was from Spanx, and I did my 90-day update on the Spanx box I ordered from Boutique by the Box, and the results were not super great. I did make a profit, but there were several swim pieces that were still left that I kind of figured once those sold off, it would take that box from being like just okay to being really good. And shortly after I posted that 90-day update, I did sell this swimsuit. So my cost per piece on this was $6.92. I listed all this stuff in September. So again, right after swim season was over. I'm not surprised that it took through the winter to sell this, but I ended up getting $74 on Poshmark for this swimsuit. So I'm glad I held out. I'm glad I didn't reduce the price too much. And I mean, that really helped this box and the case I would make for this box. And sometimes, although it's ideal for me to sell things within 90 days because, you know, I want things to move, sometimes it does just take for the season to roll around again to get what you would really expect for an item. So I was excited about that. All right, here's one more pair of AYR jeans. These are the special sauce jeans in the color Nori. These were a size 26 short. Again, colored denim. I was not too optimistic about these, but they sold pretty quickly, $13.85 per piece, and these sold within 4 days on Poshmark for $80. So that was super exciting. I do still have a lot of the AYR left. It's not selling as quickly as I guess would be ideal, but what has sold for really great. So no complaints there. Then I had the Baggu Wedge Chelsea boots in black. These are a size 40, which is European size. And the brand was Fly London. This is the first time I've ever sold Fly London. These came in that Boutique by the Box designer footwear box. And, you know, I know that this brand is a bolo. If you don't know, put this on your bolo list if you thrift for shoes or if you source shoes. But I was excited to get these boots so that I could try to sell them. They did take a little bit longer than I had hoped. They are boots, so I started getting nervous as we got into springtime, but they eventually sold March 23rd, so end of March, and I got $82 for these on Poshmark, and my cost per piece on this box was $18. So it was a little bit steep, Probably these were the highest sellers in the box, but $82 is solid. I did have them listed higher. I think I started at like $149, and I had started to come down on the price, especially, like I said, they're boots and we are getting into spring. So if I had any hope of selling them, I had to keep coming down, and finally I found the right buyer. And the highest selling item of March 2025 was actually a Goodwill find. From the rare instance I get to go to Goodwill, but I did make it to Goodwill a few times in the beginning of this year or late last year. I think this was late. Yeah, this one was from December. And this item sold on Mercari. I love it when my best sale of the month is a Mercari sale because they take the least amount of fees. So these were the Pillar dress pants. The brand was L'Agence. And I didn't get these in a mystery box. I found them in the wild. $6.69 was my cost per piece that day. And they took a little over 3 months to sell, but I eventually got $110 for these. They were a size 16. They were new with tags, so most ideal. Oh, and they were like a high-rise wide leg dress pant, so good style too, which definitely helped out. But these retailed for like, I don't know, 3 something. They retailed pretty high. They were a good style, a good size. So the stars all aligned on that one, and $110 on Mercari. I did list these a little higher. Somebody sent me $110 as an offer, but again, on Mercari, that's an amazing offer. So very, very happy with that sale. Overall, very happy with how March went, especially because, like I said, I had 10 days where I wasn't actually, open for business. My stores were on vacation, and then I did very little by the way of, drafting new listings, listing things. I did some delisting and relisting, but not, there weren't boxes coming in. All of my stuff that I had ordered had been kind of taken care of before I took the time off. So, definitely happy considering the circumstances for myself. I'm definitely happy with how March turned out. Make sure you subscribe. Like I said, I've got lots of videos coming out for you. I'm going to do my best to keep up on them, but this is important to me. I love interacting with you guys, so I'm going to do my best to keep up the videos. Hit that like button if you could on the way out. And that is all for today, friends. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Thank you.